All right, this is chapter 13 of the Contender on page 104. Kicking my tail. Okay. Left, snap it out, drive in, mix it up. Don't let him get away, Alfred, press. Angel kept slipping Alfred's jab. He cocked his head the last possible instant and grinned as Alfred's gloved fist shot harmlessly over his shoulder. And each time Alfred missed, Angel belted him in the stomach. There was no pain, only anger that drove his teeth deeper into the mouthpiece. The air exploded out of his nostrils and sweat ran into his eyes. He closed his eyes and swung wildly. An Angel laughed, belted the side of his headguard. "Time," called Henry. "You're not working your combinations," said Bud, pulling out the mouthpiece. "You've been throwing one punch at a time, and that's no good." "Time," called Henry, and Bud shoved the mouthpiece back in. Jab, hook. Jab, hook, right, jab, hook to the body, cross to the chin, body, head, jab. August, gasping for breath, melted into September. It was cooler in the park at dawn now, but it was hot in the gym, always hot in the gym. The leather headguard squeezing his temples, the metal protective cup pinching his thighs, the 16-ounce sparring gloves felt like lead pillows. An Angel slipped the jab and Denny slipped the jab, while Henry screamed and Bud yelled. And sometimes Donatelli watched, and sometimes he didn't. When Alfred remembered his dreams the next morning, they were always the same. A fly sitting on the tip of his nose, and every time he reached to brush it away, he saw he had no hands. 10 seconds left, called Henry. Angel's face framed the headguard and bobbed up, mocking him. Last chance for today, thought Alfred. Now, he snapped out a left jab straight at the moving head, just as he had for weeks. An Angel, as he had for weeks, cocked his head and let it shoot by, never bothering to watch Alfred's shuffling feet. Angel didn't see the right until it was almost too late, and when he jerked his head away from the right, a left hook slammed into his face. Angel's head snapped backwards, his face twisted with surprise. His gloves automatically flew up to his face, and Alfred dropped his right shoulder, took a quick step forward on his right foot, and slammed a short right uppercut into Angel's belly. Alfred plunged forward, the months of shadowboxing taking over now. Left, right to the face, hook. An Angel was reeling against the ropes, a drop of blood oozing from his nose. "Time," called Bud. Jelly clapped, and Pete leaned over the ropes and slapped his shoulder. "You're thinking," said Donatelli. "Not bad." "Not bad?" thought Alfred, spitting the mouthpiece into Henry's hand. "That's like a medal from anyone else." Jose began unlacing Angel's gloves. "Alfred really catch you one, eh?" "I do it so he feel good," said Angel. "Next time he feels so good he knock you out," said Jose, winking at Alfred. Angel began chattering in machine gun Spanish. "You did real good," said Henry, unlacing Alfred's gloves. "That was the best hook you ever threw." "I'm not sure I know what I did." "You've been taking a little step before you threw the hook, and it made you off balance, but this time you pivoted, like this." Henry threw a slow hook and pivoted on his left leg, the crippled leg. "Yeah," said Alfred, practicing it. "Yeah, how'd you know?" He tried to keep his eyes from staring down at Henry's leg. "I'm learning too, man," said Henry, and then he noticed Alfred's stare and limped heavily away. "Stick and move, in and out, jab, right, jab, hook, right. Mix 'em up, press. Denny's hands were quick, but his footwork was slow. Stand and fight him, and he'll spin your head around. Stick and move, he doesn't stand a chance. "Sorry, Denny," thought Alfred. "My head's not a punching bag for you." "Time," called Bud. "You have nice moves, Alfred, very nice moves." "Mr. Epstein?" Old Lou smiled. "I have to hear from the neighborhood how good you're getting, so I came up to see." "Hey, lightning," said Bud, raising his fist. "You ain't been up here for years." "Don't talk about years. How's my boy doing?" "Getting there. He's getting there. You look good, Lou. Ready to go 10. 10 steps, maybe." "Sure," said Bud, clapped him on the shoulder. "Saw Kid Ryan last week. He was asking for you. A rematch I won't give him, even after 40 years. A tough one, I remember that night." When Alfred came out of the shower, Bud and Lou were throwing slow, creaky punches in the air and laughing. He was dressed and half out the door when Lou called. "Wait just a minute, Alfred." Lou took a little black purse from his pocket and counted out some bills and pressed them into Bud's hand. "Don't tell Ryan where it comes from. Pride he always had." "Thanks," said Bud. "Take it easy, Lou." How else can I take it? He put a hand on Alfred's shoulder, bracing himself as they walked slowly down the steps. On the street, Lou said, "You didn't take my advice." "Well, Mr. Epstein, You should have your own mind. Do what you want. Ben tells me it takes you half the time to sort the new stock Monday mornings. How come you suddenly have more energy now?" "Well, let me figure it out. I have to keep my mind active. You know how to work the register?" "No, but I can learn." "Sure you could learn. Maybe come in a little early tomorrow before we get busy, and I'll show you some things." "Thanks, Mr. Epstein. Don't thank me, Alfred. I'm not giving you anything you won't have to work for." Stick and move, double jab, double hook, cross with the right, hook over the jab, slip and stick, break clean, move 'em, Alfred. Jose was not as fast as Angel or Denny, but he hit harder. Twice he fired straight rights through Alfred's guard, stinging, rib-bruising rights that took Alfred's breath away. It wasn't until the third sparring round that Alfred timed the rhythm of Jose's attacks and dropped his left arm, catching the right on his elbow. Jose's face was unprotected, and Alfred pumped a fast right into his mouth. He pivoted on his left foot and threw a hook into a smooth, short arc. Jose dropped like a sack of potatoes. He was back on his feet immediately, but Donatelli jumped into the ring and grabbed Alfred's gloves. "Better go downstairs," he said softly. "It's time you were fitted for that custom-made mouthpiece." End of chapter 13.